Okay, we are recording. All right, get the nerves out. Okay, here we go. Let me get my questions out. All right,
put it
here we are. Hey, Andrea, welcome to the show. I'm so happy
Welcome.
that you're here.
Hello.
You're our first guest. Everybody, please welcome Tropical. Oh, I said your name, Andrea. Shoot.
You know, you can say my name, Andrea Tropical Bird. I don't mind.
Well, let me run that one more time. Okay, let me do this again. Take two.
Why don't
Take two.
we do it like you can introduce as Tropical Bird, and then after she says her name, then we start saying her name, Andrea.
Okay. Yeah, I just got to get that out of my head. Apologies.
Yeah.
Let me do this again.
It's all good. You're doing great, Hinano.
Come on, internet, stop it. All right. Hey everybody, welcome to the Real Uncommon podcast. I am the Real Hinano. Thank you for joining me today. I'm very excited to announce this new series that my wife and I wanted to start after we came back from DCon. And that's, we want to go out into the Twitter community and talk story with you all, interview you, give you a voice if you need it. We want to go out there and bring you guys into the conversation. When we went to DCon, we really noticed that there's a lot of you that we've never met before or seen in the community. A lot of this community, which I think is just 25%, gets seen either on YouTube or in Twitter Spaces. I really also feel that only 25% get acknowledged by the founders as well. So this podcast hopefully is to change that. I want you guys to be a part of this conversation. I want you guys to come and talk with me. And that's what this podcast is all about. The Real Uncommon Podcast, which is eloquently named after the Uncommon comics in the VeVe comic variants. The Uncommon variant is normally sometimes disliked and overlooked. And so that's what the series is about. And I'm looking forward to interacting with everyone, or maybe nobody will watch this. Maybe this thing will just bomb, and nobody will really care about it. But that's okay. I'm going with it anyway. Me and my wife are going to do this, and so for the folks that are tuning in, that are going to look at our very first episode today, thank you for joining us. And our special guest today is Tropical Bird, or as I eloquently like to call her, the Queen of SRs. How are you doing today, Tropical Bird?
I'm doing well. You can call me Andrea.
Andrea, awesome. You know, you are a prominent figure in our VeVe community, and I'm so happy that you're gracing us with your presence today. I like to refer to you sometimes as the Queen of SRs. And hail the Queen.
Hail the Queen.
And we're just super happy to have you today.
Happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for taking the time to come on. I know the time difference makes a lot of difference. So thanks.
California time, gotta love it.
Anyway, so I wanted to know what brought you into VeVe. What made you come to VeVe?
Yeah, so my first time into VeVe was back in November of 2021, and it was really the golden moments that got me in. It's huge, right, Disney, if you think about the IP, and just fascinated me. I was just getting into crypto as well back at that time. So I remember my first purchase being that Ben Reilly's Spider-Man.
Nice.
Just from browsing the app, and I remember buying it for $120 and flipping it for $850, and I've never seen anything like that before. So that's quite a gain right there.
Yeah, that's a lot of gain.
Yeah, it's interesting how these assets accumulate so quick, and it's a funny story that you say that you bought that Ben Reilly for $120 and then you flipped it for $850. I actually scored Steamboat Willie You Are on the Drop. And if you guys remember history, that thing shot up really quick.
Yeah. I remember all-time highs being like 10,000 for that.
Isn't that unreal?
Unreal.
So
Yeah.
and so
I've
I
never seen
remember
anything
when
like that.
yes. And I remember when I first started researching NFTs, I thought to myself, this is silly. Why is everyone buying pictures? It's you go through that whole, it's just a screenshot. And then all of a sudden your Steamboat Willie goes to $10,000. So
It's like, what is going on?
Yeah, I remember you trying to convince me to get on there. I'm like, what? Oh, this doesn't even make sense.
She looked at me like I was nuts. And so now the public looks at us like we're nuts.
I felt like I was nuts.
We're all in that boat together.
Like, what am I doing spending like all this money on like, things that are digital collectibles, right? It's not even an item. You think about it, that you can feel, touch, and kind of like a toy where you can or a statue. None of that. It's just digital.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a while to come around.
It's the new way of it's the new way that our children and all these other children will interact with these products going forward. They're digital products. If you look at like Fortnite, that's like one of the #1 digital product sellers in the globe, and they just sell skins, right? Or they sell like shoes and guns and boots and whatever, and they run around and your parents or their parents' wallets just get like hammered from that. And so that's kind of what this is. That's kind of when I figured out, I'm like, okay, these are just digital products. So it's unreal. It's unreal.
And it's IP, right? Like popular IP. So it's like, how can you go wrong when these big companies are spending billions of dollars marketing these things like Spider-Man, Disney?
Yeah,
it's like it speaks for itself, I feel.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you said that about the IP, because I've got a really cool question to ask you. Seeing as a lot of the collectibles are based on IP from our childhood, what is your favorite collectible or comic that brings you back to that nostalgia? And what I mean by nostalgia is, and let me give you an example. When I see the DeLorean, and that was the first NFT I actually bought on VeVe, that brought back all that nostalgia, that flurriness, that whole like chicken skin feel that you have in your in your gut and stuff like that.
Right.
When I saw that DeLorean, I just was like, oh, I've always wanted that,
Nice.
And so that's what I mean about like nostalgia. What collectible does that for you?
I want to say Spider-Man does that for me, and the reason I say Spider-Man is it was my first purchase on the app. Really got me into it, and then my first huge purchase on the app was the Miles Morales SR. And when I first bought in, you were a part of that purchase, right? Like you saw the evolution of that, where I remember buying in at like 4K, and everybody on Twitter, like a lot of people, not everybody, but there's people saying, "What are you doing? That's too much. You're spending too much on it," and it felt like a lot. But then I kind of had a gut feeling, no, this is gonna be bigger than what the naysayers might say. So I just stuck to my guns, right? And like I was right, it just shot up, and it hasn't gone down since then. So aside from the whole investing aspect, yeah, it's just the whole Spider-Man IP. I think is huge, and it's one of the biggest grails on VeVe.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the Miles Morales, after like the first movie came out, that's like our generation or our kids' generation now. That's like their Spider-Man. So now all the kids, like our daughter, she's all hyped up every time she sees Miles Morales. She was actually Miles Morales for Halloween last year. So yeah, now they're gonna get us through our kids.
And now the movie's coming out, right? Which I think it's gonna just, make it even that more popular.
It's Moon, yeah.
Hey Dee, did you want to ask any questions? And any of these sidebars that we're doing now, I can cut it all out. So
being dubbed as the Queen of SRs, what was like your turning point, or what made you want to start collecting those specifically?
Great question. So when I think of comics, I think of like 80-year history. They're so big and popular with the IP. The scarcity of the secret rares is really important to me, just because of the current market situation that we're facing at the moment. How things that are more scarce tend to fare better than things that are way available, right?
Right.
At least that's what I've seen. So I think that's what really got me into this. My SR journey is just like love the history, love the fact that they're scarce, and at this moment, it's something that I can continue to build up on. And at the moment, I have about 76 SRs. I feel like I can reach that 100 goal. Like I can keep stacking and
Yeah.
It's
Good for you. That's
I think you and Kenobi have like a lot of SRs.
Kenobi beats me. He's the king of SR.
Is he? How much does Kenobi have?
I think he has like over 100.
100? Yeah, I think at least he had at least 100 last time.
At least,
Might be more now.
My God, I'm a prawn compared to you guys.
No,
I'm a little guppy.
Guppy.
That's the thing though. We all start small, right? Because I did. I mean, I remember starting with like 5, right? So it's like it just builds on top of it. And the thing about me is like I believe so much in them that I just don't want to sell mine. So, and maybe I should be taking profits, but I'm so attached to them. So.
Yeah, and I think that's the way any collector kind of thinks as well, that you get an attachment to something. And I know exactly what you mean. We have attachments with cars, and you don't want to sell them after a while, even though they might be junk. But so I got another question for you there, Tropical.
Yeah.
What's one of the things you love the most about this community?
I really enjoy the whole feeling like you're a part of something big. Like the community itself is amazing. Everybody I've spoken to has always offered their help, their advice. Like you and D, you guys are always available for questions that sometimes I might have. I just like that sense of belonging to like a strong community. I think that's what I really enjoy about it. Hope you guys agree.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, we appreciate you too. And yeah, this community is our third place, as David Yu likes to call it. I find myself checking this third place throughout my first and second places of the day, which is work and home. And I don't know about you, but how many times you check Twitter within a day? Because I check it a lot, right? Yeah, and I never used Twitter until now.
Me too.
Tropical, I don't want to take your time too much, and we're going to try to keep this at a short video format. But my last question for you, unless you have any other questions you want to ask her, Dave.
No, go ahead.
Okay, Tropical, our last question for you is very simple. Why are you still here? We're in a bear market. A lot of people that was in VeVe is either dormant, cashed out, or is waiting to cash out because we've lost our cash out at the moment.
Yeah.
What keeps you here? What drives you to hold these collectibles, to believe in the team? Why are you still here?
I think it's everything we just covered, put together in just one. It's like I believe in VeVe, first of all. Like that's one thing. That big IP's always going to be there. The community, it's such a big thing for me. And it's just like I have a gut feeling that this is going to explode. This is just the beginning. Yes, we're going to have rough patches, and I've actually become more careful about the way I'm investing at the moment. I'm not investing crazy. I'm just kind of like seeing what's coming out and the time versus global again. But yeah, I just have this gut feeling that this is going to be something big, and I'm just going to keep holding.
Smart. Yeah, you do what feels right for you, I think.
Yes, I agree. You have to.
I 100% agree with what you just said. And thank you so much for coming on. It was such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Both Dee and I have been chatting with you for like almost a year now. We've been VeVe virtual, however you want to call it, friends for a very long time. And yeah, like I said, it's just been a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, it's nice
we appreciate you too.
It's nice to have, it's nice to have conversations with another female in the community. Because I know there's there's other females out there, but I think you're the first one that I've interacted with, like private message and all that on the side. So that's like, okay, cool. I have someone I can talk to.
I like that.
Understand.
Yeah, we're not the only ones.
Yeah, so thank you for being there for me.
Thank you as well. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and like I gotta address the elephant in the room. My bro, I call you my bro, and I didn't know, but yet for some reason I didn't know that you weren't a bro, but you still are my bro, if that makes any sense.
Always.
And
Always.
I just can't stop calling you my bro. So
yeah, it was funny when you guys first started talking, and then I think something he said, and I'm like, oh, is that like a man or woman? He's like, oh, I don't know, because everyone has all their PFP, so you don't know what they look like in real life.
I don't know, yeah. That's
And
so
I'm
true.
like, well, you don't want to say anything that you're like suggesting that he or she is a man or woman. You gotta like,
that's true. You gotta be careful
neutral.
with
You what if you say, hey guy, and it's a girl? He's like, oh
Absolutely.
yeah, great. So I was like, that
I
was
got so nervous. I'm like, well, what do I say? You know what I mean? So
and then when you turn out to be a female, I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
yeah.
But yeah, you're still bro.
Yeah, you're still my bro.
I'll always be bro. That's fine.
Tropical, it was a pleasure having you on the show. We would love to have you on again. Do you have any
You'll
final
have to come back.
messages for the audience? Anything else you want to say?
No, just stay strong in the spare market and be wise to your research and don't FOMO in.
Great advice.
Awesome advice. And let everyone know where they can find you on Twitter.
Yep, tropical_bird__. And you should find me.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
for having
on.
me.